Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new reinvented version of Heat and Receipts. We are talking Brock Lesnar. We are giving our Royal Rumble picks. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share with any wrestling fan that you know. Let's get into it. So we are back and we are talking Brock Lesnar, and I never thought I would do a show about Brock Lesnar, and we're going to do a show about Brock Lesnar. But first and foremost, want to just give a shout out to this new sweet logo at the beginning of the video and behind us. It is going to be the new Heat and Receipts, and I love it, and I love the fact that it's just it looks so cool. That is a little bit of just mixed martial arts mixed with a somewhat of a super kick. So like we're trying to do that, but I like the flame and everything like that. But that being said, like I said, we are doing a show, Brock Lesnar, and I, for so many years, gave such a bad thing about, like, I just couldn't stand this guy for being a part-timer. Well, he's showed up a lot more, and I said the day that he shows up more is the day I'm going to love him more, because I loved him back in the day. I loved him when he was the next big thing, when him and Paul Heyman first broke in 2003, and he was dominating. I loved him then. He was so awesome. I loved him when he went to the UFC and he was dominating there until he got his butt kicked. But due to injury, he got his butt kicked. But it was still a good fight, and I commend him for trying. And then he came back and he was part-time Brock Lesnar, and it was just so annoying because this dude was so dominant. He was part-time Brock Lesnar because of the fact they couldn't afford to pay him. Well, he's back. He's showing up a lot more. He has a belt on him, as usual. And I said it a million times. He should have a belt on him. He's so dominant. He's a dominant figure. But he's going up against Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley this coming Saturday. It is going to be amazing. We are going to give our picks at the end of this show. And by we, I mean the panel who is ready, willing, and able to talk all things wrestling for Heat and Receipts. Calvin, you got a nice logo behind you. That looks dope behind you. You got like this dude just kicking somebody's face in right behind you. What do you think about the new logo?
Oh, it's fire. Literally.
Your
Look,
head is on
fire.
fire.
Look, fire.
Yeah, it is fire. It is good. And wait till you see you, because you didn't get. We're filming this. We're recording this. For those who don't know, to be in full transparency, we're filming this. But you're gonna see the animated logo. So that's gonna be really cool. Heidi, what do you think about the new logo? How do you feel?
Mean, not for nothing, but I was the one who had the idea for a super kick. It was me. It was always me. So
you see what happens in the wrestling business? Either
it was me, Austin,
and or you end up being a heel. And right
how
now,
am I a heel if we're just trying to take a little credit for the fact that it was my idea to have a guy super kicking? It's iconic. It's iconic. I mean, like, you can't. There's only so many moves that are like visually like you can depict like that. I mean, it's hard to like really like. I'm not gonna like an F5 would not be interesting, right?
No.
You know, an RKO would be nice, but I thought a super kick was a sort of iconic wrestling move.
So I want to say something, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate what you're saying. But the thing that I'm going to tell you right now is you definitely are channeling your inner Don Callis, like where you're just like, everything is me. I put everything together. That's you.
Really, in the first 10 seconds of me speaking,
she did. It was her idea, but you know, it's just like she doesn't have to gloat about it. It was her idea. It was great.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
I know, right?
So, Calvin, Heidi, we're talking Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a new reinvented version of himself. You guys heard what I've said over the many, many months about Brock Lesnar. Heidi, you said multiple times Brock Lesnar is somebody who you just find annoying. What are you thinking? Well, annoying the fact that he wasn't around for such a long time.
I found the storylines that involved Brock Lesnar annoying. I always appreciated him as a wrestler. And
yes.
I mean, you cannot not love Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is the greatest. What I love now, as a person who's sort of relatively new to wrestling, I didn't get to see Brock Lesnar when he wasn't a part-timer. And so this is really kind of, and again, I mean, technically I think he still is, right? He's just, they're booking him in a way where we're kind of getting all of his appearances sort of all together.
Yeah.
And
He'll be going after
feels really
WrestleMania.
good. That feels really good. And the other thing that I never got to see in my time watching wrestling was Brock Lesnar actually talk. And he's great. Like, he's great on the mic. Like, I'm like, where was this the whole time? Where all he did before was, like, grin and hop side to side next to Paul Heyman. And now you're actually getting to see him have a real personality. He's, which is funny. Like, he's really funny, which I'm really enjoying. So, and I think, of course, you know, we've all been waiting for this, you know, Roman, Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar love triangle.
Soap opera. Yeah, it's a love triangle. Indeed.
And it's every bit as good as I hoped it would be, which is almost never true when we're talking about WWE.
No.
So kudos to them, to Paul Heyman, who I am certain is the one who got this right.
Yeah, he does. He can do no wrong, and I agree with you. I said it. He's going to be going after WrestleMania, but we're getting him in short boatloads, which is amazing. And he's look, I wanted him to fight Bobby Lashley. I wanted him to fight Roman Reigns. After that, I kind of feel like he should just retire at WrestleMania. I feel like it's time because I don't want to see anything else.
We're kind of getting a wish list right now. It's like, oh, we get to see sort of all of these dynamics that we were all kind of hoping we would see. And again, can't say it enough times. That is almost never the case in WWE anymore, that you actually see the thing that you want to see.
Yeah,
so
correct.
I'm very happy. Now, you know, is it a giant garbage fire in a lot of other areas? Yes. But this is great.
Monday Night Raw needs to be canceled immediately. Calvin, what do you think about Brock Lesnar and the storyline and all those things? What are you feeling about this whole thing?
Well, there's finally a storyline worth watching when it comes to Brock Lesnar, not this I've returned. Like, I get it. You want to incorporate real life, and he was a beast in the UFC, but they made him like a god in WWE, right? And it was like, he took hits and all of that in the UFC. We get he was legit, but the way they made him untouchable was vomit inducing almost. You know what I mean? Like, it really was. Like, but like we said many times before, what was the point before of watching any Brock Lesnar match? None, right? Because, you know, it was godlike.
It's true.
There was only a couple of ones, right? When he had with AJ Styles, where he was really good with that, and with Daniel Bryan, and I think maybe with Finn Balor, right? He did one with Finn Balor
and AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and
Daniel
Bryan. And what I will also say, he had a really good match. He had a really good match with Dean Ambrose.
Honorary mention for the time him and Braun Strowman actually knocked each other out a little bit.
Oh yeah,
there was definitely there was a hit and a receipt for it.
Yeah,
that was, they rang each other's bells. That was the sort of
that. Now to it was a shame, Heidi, that you actually didn't get to see his first, because even in his first run, when they were making him the next big thing and they were making him scary, they didn't make him God,
right?
No.
But they made him scary. So now to see him with this different personality, kind of talking for himself, the different gear, him actually talking, and the thing is, he looked like he having fun.
He does look like he's having a
great
time. And
I
so, too.
I like it. Eat, conquer, repeat, or whatever he want to do now. I'm with all the t-shirts.
And that's the thing. He had a personality, because if you remember, one of the biggest things about WWE that most of the time they get right is you can't be a WWE superstar and a main eventer without a really good personality. And you got to be really good on the mic. Stone Cold good on the mic. Undertaker good on the mic. Kane good on the mic. Shawn Michaels good on the mic. Triple H good on the mic. The Rock good on the mic. Jericho good on the mic. Benoit good on the mic. All the top, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, all the top people in the last 20 years were great on the mic. So you said, okay, maybe the reason why Paul Heyman is there is because Paul Heyman is his mic. However, and I'm going to say this, he doesn't need Paul Heyman. Now Paul Heyman barely spoke the last 2 weeks.
It is, however, still enjoyable.
Oh, no, it is, yeah.
And the last time he was on SmackDown and showed up to taunt Roman, and then there was that weird dynamic.
Oh my God, he was crying. He was like, I loved you.
I know, I loved you. Wait, don't speak to him that way. I was like, oh my God, it's the young and the restless. This is amazing. I don't even know what happened.
It's true.
Great. I mean, yeah. So it's like this shining. It's the thing that you look at and you go like, this whole show should be like this.
Yeah. And I love, and the one thing I love, and tell me if you guys agree, I love that he's getting to be himself. That's who he is. He's like wearing these vests. I'm sure he's just on his farm. He's just being himself.
Yeah.
He's from Minnesota, for God's sake.
I know. Yeah. He's a real, like, he feels like himself, like you said, Calvin. He looks like he's having a good time. I think he is. I know I am.
Now here's the question. So we got the match on Saturday. We're gonna give our Royal Rumble predictions at the end, but I related to this before we get to that. Here's my question: do we think that Paul Heyman is going to screw him over, and this is all a plan for the Tribal Chief to end up on top at WrestleMania?
So, Calvin, I don't know if you want to go first.
Yeah, you know what? There's always and here's the deal. There's always the possibility, not because of WWE writing or anything else like that, but because it's Paul Heyman.
Of course.
Right.
And we've seen this happen before, right? I mean, more so me and Joe, we've seen it happen before, right? The rifts in between. Oh, but we've seen Paul Heyman. He that's his character, right? It could be, but that would be a good piece of long-term storytelling. And if they did it in a way that was, I would actually stand up and take a video of me standing up and clapping for WWE Creative, at least for this segment.
Again, I would say it's Paul. I mean, my sense is the answer is that that it depends on how long they can afford Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I think if they are kind of blown their whole wad on him going to, so to speak, on him going to WrestleMania, and then they kind of like can't afford to keep him going, then what you're going to see is Paul Heyman sort of betraying him, and and then Roman is the champion, and Brock Lesnar goes away again for a while because WWE has to have a few bake sales or something before they can afford to have him.
Oh my God, it's so true.
If they can afford to keep him through SummerSlam or something like that, then I could see Lesnar.
Well, the reports are, and I'm going to put reports are is that he's done after WrestleMania for a while, but they could always renew a contract.
That's part of like our predictions for the Rumble is sort of like, how do we get to WrestleMania with Brock Lesnar?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, the one thing I'm going to kind of put out there before we go into the Royal Rumble thing is it is amazing to me that he's shown this dynamic version of himself. It is amazing to me that they've integrated Paul Heyman back with him so seamlessly. I do miss him. I watched the SmackDown last week. I miss him with Roman Reigns. And only because I would have liked to have seen Roman and Paul Heyman with engaging and interacting with Seth Rollins. However, I think you don't need it because that storyline tells itself. There's so much history there. So, okay. First and foremost, and this I gotta say right now, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. Heat and Receipts is going to be coming back with a bunch of episodes. We're going to have a bunch for you. And Heat and Receipts is going to cover topics like Samoa Joe getting fired, AEW, and all the stuff that they're doing. The new reports that Kenny Omega has been injured and some serious injuries, as well as women's wrestling, a couple of interactions. We are going to touch a little bit on that. Plus, we're going to have a Royal Rumble review because there's a lot of things that can upset us. And we're going to talk about our predictions now. But there's a few things that I'm telling you right now. And I just want to put this out there on Front Street. There are 3 things that if they happen, I will never watch WWE. And I mean that. And I am serious. Again, one, if Mickie James runs into the ring and gets thrown out by some ham and egger like Aaliyah, who's a newbie, gets thrown out in like seconds with no kind of anything, I will not respect her, and I'm not watching WWE anymore. Also, she needs to come down the ring with the Impact Championship. They really need to make that happen. Unfortunately, they're not, but I'm okay with that. But they should. 2, if I see any version of a situation that we get somebody stupid winning the Royal Rumble, like Dominic winning the Royal Rumble, or something bad, like, or what's this guy's name with the selfies that's new? What's
Austin Theory?
like Austin Theory, like no, that cannot happen. And the third thing is if they have Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar end in under like 2 minutes. If that match is quick, either way, I'm gonna be.
Both of them deserve better than that.
I'm done. Those are the three things that if it happens, I'm never watching WWE. That being said, who wants to go first with their predictions?
Can we get some of the low? Like, I feel like I need to do the men's championship matches and the Rumble together to tell my story. So can we get the low hanging?
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pose the match. And I'm going to say, who do you think's going to win?
Can we get the dumb ones out of the way?
Hold on. So, yes, of course, we get those out of the way. Calvin, I'm going to let you go first. Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Maurice and Miz. Who you going?
Edge and Beth Phoenix.
Okay.
Although...
Yeah, that's a landslide.
I know, but here's the deal. Yeah. Honestly, I never thought I would say this. I'm about tired of them putting the Miz and Maurice in these matches just for them to get smashed by the other couple.
Correct.
Okay? They got pumped. They got pumped by John Cena and Nikki Bella. Look what happened to them.
Yes.
Look, the Miz is starting to have a point. I think I'm a Miz head. I don't even know what that happened. So Edge is probably going to win.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Edge is probably going to win because it's Edge and Beth Phoenix. No shade against them. I love them. But I think the Miz also need his respect. That's all I'm going to say.
Fair enough. Heidi.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
I think. By the way, this is the stupidest match. Yeah, I agree. I'm not even going to comment any on this because this is a stupid match that shouldn't even be at the Royal Rumble. This is a WrestleMania match. This is a WrestleMania match. Okay, we're going to Doudrop versus Becky Lynch
again. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
it's Becky. Come on.
Yeah.
It's Becky, but I will say this: they failed to capitalize actually on a really good storyline.
What's that?
Well, Doudrop and Becky Lynch came from the same area. So Becky Lynch was already like kind of established when Doudrop and a couple of them was coming along.
Yep.
So they could have played a longer term angle instead of just kind of.
Well, I mean, here's the thing that they're doing. WWE is not good at doing heel versus heel, and that's what they're doing right here. And they're not good at it. Literally, I have no interest in the match. We know Becky's going to win, and Becky's going to win because somebody's coming back. Either it's going to be Lita coming back, or it's going to be Ronda Rousey coming back, or it's going to be somebody coming back to challenge her. This is a throwaway match, and it's the Royal Rumble. You're not supposed to have throwaway matches. So, Heidi? Same? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on. So then we are going to... There's no United States Championship match and no Intercontinental title match, which is stupid once again.
Wait, who's the Intercontinental Champion?
What happened?
Who's the Intercontinental Champion? Is it still Shinsuke Nakamura?
It's still Shinsuke, yeah. We don't even know. He hasn't defended in such a long... And just as an innovative thought, they should really have a tag team Royal Rumble. Like 20... Like, put the 10 best tag teams, and they should totally do that, and then you get a shot at that. That would actually be kind of cool. But let's go with Roman versus Seth first.
Well, you want to do the women, or you want to do the women? Because there's no Charlotte's not defending her.
No, yeah, you're right. We could do the women. Let's do the women. Let's do the women's Royal Rumble. Heidi, I'll let you go first. Ladies first for the women's. What do you think?
I have a suspicion. They did this, introducing this idea of Charlotte getting to pick her own opponent for WrestleMania, and I feel like it's such an interesting gimmick, and it's the first time they ever did it, that they're gonna actually let her actually do it.
That sounds so believable. I can't even say anything against it except the fact that now she's won 2 Royal Rumbles when. I mean, that's an interesting. You got Asuka, Bianca Belair, Charlotte, and then she's gonna win too.
She's winning again, but she's the winningest champion, but also there's this new thing they've never done before. So it's like you're telling me they introduced this whole new concept of a champion being able to pick their opponent based on winning the Royal Rumble, and they're not going to actually see it.
I get it.
Like, it feels like they're going to see it through. I could totally be wrong.
Calvin, what do you think?
I think they will have a 2-time winner. I think it's going to be Bianca Belair. I think it's going to be Bianca Belair because they like to do this thing in WWE and creating more hype than even a person sometimes needs.
They've never done that before, though, right?
But that's
I know, but you know what I mean? So I don't think that... Now, here's the thing. I don't think she needs to win, right? No. To add anything on, right? Like, she's one of those people. I just thought about something, and I don't want to keep on throwing too many swerves. but I don't think Bailey is cleared. Because if Bailey was anywhere near cleared, I would say that she would win.
No, Bailey is almost. She's going to be at the Royal Rumble. She's been posting social media hints that I think she's going to be in the Royal Rumble.
It's Bailey.
Going to win.
No.
You're changing it to Bailey?
No. I'm sticking with Bianca Belair.
Right. So this is the thing that I'm going to say. You have a valid point, Heidi. That really does almost make me change my mind. I'm not changing my mind. Calvin, I get what you're saying, but I cannot see them doing a back-to-back Royal Rumble winner. They've never done it. Now, can Bianca win next year? Yes.
Wait. You mean for women?
For women or men? They never had a men back-to-back.
Yes, they have.
Stone Cold. Right?
No, Stone Cold.
Stone Cold. Yes, he did. 97 and 98.
Oh, no. Excuse me. 24 years. They haven't done it in 24 years. Gotcha. He's the only one to do it. Now, and Hogan did it. Didn't Hogan do it?
I think so.
Anyway, that being said, it's hard. They don't do it that often. I don't think they're going to do. I think they've kind of pooped on Bianca Belair a bunch. My pick is Naomi, and I'm going to tell you why. This whole thing with Sonya Deville has no end game, and until this week when she finally gets her hands on Sonya Deville, I think there's going to be some injury to Sonya Deville, and that's going to allow Naomi to take her out for the Royal, and she's not going to be in the Royal Rumble. Like, Sonya's not going to be in the arena, and Naomi is going to win.
She was my second choice.
Here's my thing. There is 9 spots of the Women's Royal Rumble that have to be filled. So there's going to be some surprises. I really definitely feel that it's too soon for Ronda Rousey to come back. Calvin, you mentioned that in our chat, and I feel like it's too soon for her, but she could, like you said, she could come back shortly after the Royal Rumble, maybe in a month or so, Elimination Chamber, something like that.
There's not going to be more than 1 or 2 of those women who are actually interesting, and the rest are going to be like Trish Stratus and former divas. And
Lita doesn't need to. At first I was thinking she doesn't need to win because she's already established a beef with Charlotte. So that's and that's what makes me think Charlotte's not going to win. Because Lita is going to come out and lose, and Charlotte's going to lose, and then they got their match for WrestleMania. That's going to be where Lita could do it.
Lily's going to win.
Here's the thing. My second pick is Alexa Bliss. I'm going to tell you right now, Alexa Bliss, with all they're doing, I would not be surprised, but I'm going to stick with Naomi, and I'm going to go there.
All right.
Now, let's get to Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Okay. Heidi?
All right. I have to do actually them all because they're all intertwined. In order for me to explain what I think is going to happen.
But you got to pick your pick.
No, I will.
Okay.
But I'm just saying I have to actually talk about both men's championship matches as well as the Rumble.
Well, we are running out of time, so you got to do it quick.
I'm going to go real fast.
Okay,
so Roman and Seth are going to fight, and Roman is going to retain the belt. And I think the way he retains the belt is actually KO messes with Seth. Because KO is a liar, right?
Yes.
So he finally comes, he messes up Seth, and Roman gets to keep it without making Seth look bad.
Okay.
Right? I think that when it's Lesnar and Lashley, I think no question Lashley is going to win. You have a beltless Brock Lesnar then. What does he do? He decides, hang on, I'm going to go back and do the thing that I wanted to do from the beginning, which is take Roman's belt. So I think WrestleMania then becomes Roman and Lesnar and fighting over Roman's belt. I think the men's Rumble is going to be Big E, and Big E is going to come back after his belt with Lashley. with Bobby Lashley.
Very interesting. That's not a bad one. Calvin?
I'm almost thinking exactly the same thing.
We think alike.
B&B.
I know.
Seriously. I remember I gave you my picks earlier.
You did. You said
I do think, and I don't usually bet against Brock Lesnar. Only one time I did and that was Samoa Joe, and he should have got the belt. But anyway,
we all know that.
Yeah, but I believe that they're going to put Bobby Lashley over so that they can set up the thing for Big E versus Bobby in a proper feud, right? Like as they would say. And then obviously go forward with Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
And Paul Heyman. I mean, I feel like we have to mention him in that fight because it's like
yes,
really
and yes,
and
Paul Heyman.
What you said, Calvin, was about Bianca Belair doesn't really need the Rumble to be in a WrestleMania match. She's that Lesnar certainly doesn't.
He doesn't need that.
He just decides to show up and
pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna tell you, fascinating. I love them both. Here's my point. To me, with these matches, it could go either way. Brock Lesnar could retain, Roman could lose the belt, and then next thing you know, Roman and it comes in, takes somebody out of the Royal Rumble, wins the Royal Rumble, and now he's up against he picks Brock Lesnar, goes to Monday Night Raw, and then then Seth has to fight somebody, which is either KO or it's Kofi or it's somebody like that for WrestleMania. Now, that's not as sexy as what I'm about to say. First of all, I think Seth Rollins is going to dethrone Roman Reigns.
Oh, okay.
I do. I think when the Usos got banned from ringside, now we're going to have this thing where the Usos aren't there or whatever. I think that he is going to have the belt. I think that KO is going to start to befriend, and then screw him over at the right moment. They're going to have their match at WrestleMania, KO versus Seth Rollins. I think that's the reason why KO resigned. When it comes to Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, I think that Brock Lesnar is going to beat Bobby Lashley, but I think it's going to be because MVP or the Hurt Business and all of them is going to screw over Bobby Lashley. I think that is coming. Unfortunately, I hate it, but I think that is coming. I think MVP is going to screw over Bobby Lashley, and he's going to lose to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is going to go on, and he's going to have the belt. Roman Reigns is going to come into that Royal Rumble. Unfortunately, I want Big E to win, but I think Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble and go up against Brock Lesnar, and that's the way they're going to do it.
I mean, what you
Which is
described
sad.
is believable, but the only thing I will say is that Seth Rollins versus KO is not the same caliber of WrestleMania match as Bobby Lashley versus Big E.
No.
In terms of the pop it would get, in terms
Actually,
of, this has been an
I think
ongoing thing.
I think it's equal.
I don't think KO is anybody. It's like KO's just not been dominant enough to be in the main event of WrestleMania.
It's not going to be the main event.
Well, there are two main events because it's actually a week long.
So
I heard that they're turning WrestleMania into Burning.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Here's the problem: Seth Rollins and KO could be the main event of night
Elimination Chamber,
not the main event. But I don't even think they're going to be the main event of night one. I think the main event of night one is going to be Becky Lynch fighting whoever she fights, and if it's Ronda Rousey, that's your main event. And I think the main event of WrestleMania is going to be Brock versus Roman. That's your two main events.
I think everybody would agree that's going to happen. I think the other scenario, I just sort of like mine more, but yours.
I love yours. I love yours. I want Big E to win. Big E got screwed. The New Day got screwed. But here's the thing. I think what's going to happen with Big E, and then we got to run. I want to give you guys a chance really quick to say a final thing. Mm-hmm. I think it's time for the New Day to break up. I think Big E is going to eliminate Kofi. And I think that's going to lead to, like, what's going on? Why did you do that? That's going to lead to inner fighting. And I think the New Day, it's overdue. I think that's what they're going to do. I hate it. Calvin, trust me, I hate it. I don't want to see that happen. But I think they're going to do it. Okay? I get it. What do you want to say, Calvin? Because we got to get out of here. Last words.
I'm just actually excited that there are multiple angles that these storylines could go. So I'm actually excited to be watching the Royal Rumble and looking forward to doing another Heat and Receipts because, me and Ken/John Claude Van Damme behind me is going to come back with some hot takes.
I love it. I love it. Yes, please.
I have to say, it's great to be doing Heat and Receipts again. I cannot believe that, I just spent most of the time talking about something that was really good that WWE was doing. So that is a refreshing change for those of you who watch the show. You know that mostly we don't like their choices. No. I hadn't even talked about AEW at all. And so the other thing I will just say, and as I honor him on my shirt, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, mend quickly, Ray Phoenix. We need you back in AEW. I miss you.
Yes.
So
that was bad.
Looking forward to the next. Looking forward to talking about the Rumble, but also looking forward to talk about a lot of really great developments in AEW in the next couple Heat and Receipts. So
love it. All right. So we are gonna get out of here. I want to say everybody like the video, share it with all the wrestling fans. Once again, we are going to be back with a bunch of Heat and Receipts. Until next time, please keep watching wrestling and make sure you stay true to the family. Peace out.